Welcome back to PoPolitickin.com, your home for self-help meets hip-hop. Make sure you go on. We're on Spotify, Apple Music, Google Play. We're on Instagram Live right now, YouTube. Check out all our interviews since 2008. 1212, I'm in place to be with Anna Baby. How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good. I'm rejoined by Anna Baby.
Yes, I'm glad to be back. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I think the last time we talked was probably like, a lot didn't happen, but it was probably like a couple weeks. What, like a month and a half?
Sorry. I felt like I had to sneeze. Yeah, it was maybe like about a couple of weeks ago, maybe a month ago.
Yeah, I see you got your own show now.
Yeah, you gotta come on. I need you to come on. We need to talk to you because it's called Let's Talk About It. It comes on every other Thursday at 9 o'clock, where basically me and my co-host, Sugar Accessories, she is like a fabulous curator for like occasional crowns. Like she custom makes crowns for people. So any occasion, the graduations that were popping off, she was doing it for them. She does it for kids too. So like really with like, birthdays and stuff. But she co-hosted with me, and basically we just get up there, we just talk a whole bunch of sugar, honey, iced tea about whatever's happening in that moment in time. And basically, just to get feedback from what's happening with the climate that's happening to get today, what the people are saying. I'm an artist and I always would love to put out my perspective of my opinion, but more so I want to hear what other people are doing. So we started this show. It's called Let's Talk About It, 9 o'clock on Thursdays. Follow me at The Real Anna Baby because it's live on my IG, and you guys can definitely, stay posted.
What was the last show about?
The last show was actually in honor of, Black Lives Matters, which is why I got, my braids on. I'm trying to give homage, to my Nubian queens out there, let them know that I'm half Black and Puerto Rican. So I'll be hearing these myths going around that Hispanics are not Black and whatever the case may be, when at the end of the day, we all Black, you know what I'm saying? And if you're not for the movement, then you over there. So the last show we did about Black Lives Matter, we did giveaways where people can win, and we posted a couple of questions where people can answer the question related to Black history. We had like 4 winners, and it was a good show. So I don't know, this week, I'm still trying to figure out the topics. I'm thinking about having one of the topics about being alert, because a couple of people have been sending me things about like getting kidnapped. A lot of, like women go to their Target stores and stuff, especially now. You go with your mask on, your gloves on, you're doing all your precautionary, things to try to stay as safe as possible, like being by yourself because we have to social distance. And then 2 dudes just kind of like, slick their way up to the car while she's putting up here shopping groceries on one side of the car. Some guy like crawls in on the other side of the car, and she gets in the car. You don't see what happens in the car, but she gets in the car. He's in the back seat, so you're assuming that there's a struggle or something. And then somebody else pulls up, gets in the driver's seat after her, and pulls away with the car. And you don't see the girl come back out of the car. So it's just like things like that is just really being alert. I know we're doing everything we can to stay cautious, but you got to double, triple check. You know what I'm saying? Before you step in the car, you got to look in your car. You got to look outside. You got, if you can be with somebody, be there with somebody. So my show is to talk about it and also to bring as much awareness to whatever is going on, especially Black-owned businesses. I want to promote positive things. There's a lot of scary stuff happening. So, I just use that as my platform to, get out there.
Yeah, speaking of what you just said, even like I said, I was in the Marines, and the number one thing they taught us was the buddy system. You won't really never go nowhere by yourself. I know.
Right.
Shit, like you Black.
Yeah. Exactly.
You Black.
Right, dead serious. Like even when I saw it, I sent it to my mother. She's in Puerto Rico, but she's an older woman, and she's been traveling by herself recently, and I had to tell her no, like stop doing that. Like she's normally out with my uncle, or she's out with my grandfather, but my grandfather is a senior, and because of the COVID, she thought it was best to keep my grandfather home, and she would do the runs. But I'm like, no, like that's not gonna work. And if you do have to be out there, then that means you have to take those like extra precautions to make sure that you're safe.
Then you kind of mentioned this, but I wanted to ask you about it because how you were saying you're Puerto Rican and half Black. But I would say I know in Latino culture it's a lot of colorism. So even if you are Latino, it's like if you're too dark, they get mad. And even with a lot of races, like Asians do that too. It's like if you're too dark, it's still looked down upon, even if you are Latino or you're Asian or whatever. I mean, even black people try to do that shit sometimes. So it's like, it don't matter what we get, we still kind of try to distinguish ourselves from each other.
Yeah, and I feel like that hurts my heart, because it's just like our ancestors like shed blood to get us to the point where, you know, we weren't segregated and everything was supposed to be equal. And it's sad that we're still here in this time and day, that we are still fighting for the same thing. Like, how are we having a disagreement about something we all agreed upon? Like, the Constitution has all the amendments there that says what it's supposed to be. We already finished that. Why are we not talking about new things, new ways of being, new ways of how to, you know, build our community? You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of gentrification going on, but there's no stimulation with our own community. So it's just like things like that I just, you know, want to really tap on and, you know, bring awareness to. Since the last time I spoke to you, I started a foundation. It's called We Can Change the World. You can also follow that, We Can Change the World. Basically, we endorse charities that, like, if people don't know where to go to donate or just even get information from, they can follow that page to give you links of where you can go to sign petitions, like change.org. You know, we follow Tamika Mallory, we follow My Son General, we follow Sean King, like things like that, just to bring in as much information into our community, because I'm an artist, you know what I'm saying? I'm sensitive on my own shit. I'm not a politician. I'm more of a spiritual person. I don't follow government law. I follow universal law. You know what I'm saying? So I just believe the more information that people have, the better and equipped we are to get in where we gotta go.
Yeah, how your music been going?
Yeah.
How's the music?
Music is going really good. Like I said, we just finished the video to Show Me Love. Before COVID hit, I was on a big campaign for my single Show Me Love. And it was doing really good. It was streaming up to like 150,000. It was going great. Then COVID hit, everything stopped. And we have to kind of like reboost that. I'm coming out with a new song. It's called J-Lo, you know, paying homage to the Bronx. And we're going to be doing a video to that too. So, I mean, we're going to be flooding the airways real fast, but we are shooting the video for Show Me Love, and that's going to be the next thing that we drop. So hopefully you will have me back and I can, you know, premiere that video.
So you on the J-Lo song, you on there dancing and lip singing?
I'm not lip singing. I'm an official writer. I'm official tissue.
I shouldn't have said that. That's me.
I might try to break down a couple of, you know, TikTok moves and, you know, little woes and stuff for people, but I keep it to the mic.
And then I wanted to learn about so describe your creative process when you're making music. Like, were you in your room, you in your car? Like, how do you, like, take us through the whole process?
Yeah. Well, usually I get a beat. I like to look on YouTube a lot. I think there's a lot of like unknown, you know, producers out there too. So I like to usually go for the unknown, the weird stuff, the people that a lot of people shun away from, are like, oh no, that's too weird for me, or that's too, what is that? Like, I am attracted to that because I feel like as an artist, as a writer, I'm trying to develop my craft, and I feel like there's no such thing as a bad beat. You know what I'm saying? Like, you should be able to churn anything out or find some type of way to churn it out. So I get a beat, either, you know, my management sends me a beat. Shout out to Megatron. They send me a beat. I'll usually get the lights low. I like to be in my own forum. Get the lights low, probably have some sage burning, probably roll up some good from Cali or something like that, or a shot of Henny or whatever, and just get into the beat. You know, first, before I can even get into me putting myself on the beat, I have to listen to all the beats and see which one talks to me. Because usually a beat talks to me and tells me where I'm about to go or how I'm about to flow with it, and then it's just a matter of me putting the words that I'm feeling in that moment, you know? So that's what's happening in that process. If the beat I feel is fire, that means it wrote itself for me, basically. There was nothing for me to do. It was easy for me to write. Or if it's something that is challenging, then I may have to, you know, come back to it, walk away, come back to it again, listen to it in my car. I may have to go to the studio, record what I'm hearing in my head just to get that information out of my head, and then listen back to it to hear if I even like it, if I'm gelling to it. Is this something that, if I walk into another room, what I like to do a lot too is, if after I record, I'll play the song in one room and walk into another room, like go wash the dishes or something. And just, is this song picking me up? Is it catching me? Is it something that I'm going back to? Is, if I write a hook, is the hook still in my head the next day? Because sometimes I could write a hook and then listen to the beat and come back to it. And I'm like, damn, what was that hook that I wrote again? I forgot what it was. So in my head, I'm like, that shit was trash because I didn't even remember that. But if I go back to the hook and I keep remember that same hook and I'm walking through my day just still singing that hook, I'm like, oh, this is a hit. I gotta share this. I gotta get this out to the world because this right here, this is it. This is money. And that's usually how a song gets done for me.
You said the beat talk to you. What the beat say? And what's the voice of the beat? Is it your voice or somebody else's voice?
It's weird. It's
it
like
Lil' Kim talking to you.
Lil' Kim talking to me. I don't know. Sometimes it's not necessarily a voice. I guess it becomes my voice after after I'm doing the flow. Like depending on what it is, it's more of a beat or instrument that I hear that I will hear repetitive, and usually whatever my rhyme is gonna hit that beat. And then that's when you get into bars and you're making bars. You're making,
like hustle
lyrics.
and flow?
Right. You're doing your hustle and flow shit or whatever. So I guess I hear the instruments. I see usually what the tempo is. And then in those instruments, I like to see how my voice is going to be another instrument on the beat. So that's how I know it's a good marriage. If you have a beat that's fire and then my voice kind of adds to that beat, we become a beat together. That's what makes a beautiful song to me. If it's a beat that's whack and I gotta figure out a way how to make this fire and edit it and Photoshop it, basically have my engineer dropping bombs just to make it sound hot and da-da-da. Not saying that it won't go. Anything could go, but these are just the behind the scene things that happen to make songs come to life.
And then you saying Megatron? Are you talking about Calvin Johnson?
I'm talking about Brandon Carter.
Okay, because I was like,
shout
Megatron.
out to St. Louis.
Okay.
Shout out St. Louis in the building. We just did a song with T-Rell, who's coming out of St. Louis too. So he just did a song with Boosie. I'm really excited about that. I'm just trying to connect and branch out of my geography. You know what I'm saying? I've already gone internationally. I've had songs go #1 in Belgium, France. I've had things get popping out here in the North. I kind of touched on the South as far as, Florida, Virginia, like in that area, but I haven't really been able to break out so much towards the Midwest, so I really want to be able to, I guess get more features and just see what's going on out there. Cause I feel like every hood got their sound. And I think all sounds are beautiful. Like, let's see what we could do. Let's collab.
What song did you have pop overseas?
What?
What song popped overseas?
I had a song with Chris Brown called "Gotta Have It All." You can actually get it now on iTunes, if featuring Delia Chi, which it came out in Spain too, and it did really good over there in Spain. It's called "Gotta Have It All." It's like one of my favorite songs. That was one of the songs during the process of me writing. They made me go back in the studio like about 3-4 times to re-record my verse, rewrite my verse. Like I wasn't getting clearance until, Chris and his team was happy with the song.
Are you gonna do another song with Jadakiss?
I hope so. I hope so. I mean, I'm always open to remake heat. Why not?
All right, what's up? All right, so I had a couple of questions for you, like a lightning round.
Like a lightning round, okay.
And then we'll get up out of here. All right. They just random questions. Texting or talking?
Texting.
All right, your favorite U.S. city?
New York City.
Your first celebrity crush?
What was from Boys in the Hood, the main character?
Ice Cube?
That ended up being with Jada Pinkett. Like, I had such a big crush on him. And
Cuba Gooding Jr. Cuba Gooding Jr.
And from Boys to Men, I forgot his name. Winona? I forgot his name. Wanye. Yeah, those were my first 2 crushes.
All right. Your favorite TV show?
Favorite TV show right now or just in general? Because I would have to say Martin.
I'm
going to say Martin. I'm going to say Martin.
All right. Who your favorite character on Martin? That Martin played, your favorite character?
Martin played. Shit. Besides himself, because I feel like I'm a female Martin, so I guess I would have to say Shanae.
Right.
Because I get ready to kick a motherfucker out of my house in 2 seconds. Like, what? Get out, get out. Then call you back later, like, you know what, let's go out to eat. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that shit.
And then,
I was tweaking.
what does a person need to be happy?
What does a person need to be happy? Confidence. I would say confidence. Self-awareness. It has to start with self. Like, you need to be aware of who you are, what you're giving, what you're taking. Take accountability, take a responsibility for yourself. And when you can come from a place of self-awareness, I think you can position yourself in better positions to communicate with other people, get what you need, proceed, succeed, and do what you need to do to be happy.
What is your favorite carb?
My favorite carb.
Carb.
Carb?
Like carbohydrate.
Carb. Shit. Yeah. Donuts. You get me some donuts, I'm good.
From where?
From Krispy Kreme.
All right. They got Krispy Kreme out there?
They just opened one up in Times Square, but before that, it used to be out in Long Island, Springfield, and I'm all the way in the Bronx. And I dead ass would take myself on an 1.5-hour drive out to Long Island just to get me some Krispy Kreme fresh out the oven. Like, it has to be fresh out the oven donuts.
Then what you roll up in? Or do you roll up? I know you say you smoke, so what you roll up in?
Yeah, I do roll papers. I like anything organic. I'm usually a big, anything you slap vegan or organic on it, I'm usually for it. Can't get more organic than any type, Cali bud. And yeah, basically.
So you use like raw paper?
Raw paper, a little font, little.
They was trying to tell me everybody doing the backwoods over there now.
Yeah, people still do the backwoods, but I don't know. I feel like, well, personally, I'm a female, and I don't want anything staining my lips and having all of that shit going. I'm not trying to come out looking like that. So that's number one. And then, like I said, me personally, I just don't think maybe it hits too strong, or it just doesn't give me the same feel as papers. So I started rolling papers, old school. I felt like it was old school traditional. Like, I started with backwoods first, and like any type of Dutch cracking Dutches and stuff, I started with that first. But it was too much manual labor. I'm like, it's getting in my nails. I just fucking up my vibe. Like, I'm trying to look classy right now,
All right. Then giving or getting presents?
Ooh, that's hard. That's a good question. Because I like both. I'm not a person that just likes to get gifts only, and I like to give. So I guess I'm more of a giver, but it always, touches my heart when people are considerate. Like, you don't necessarily have to get me a gift, but just even the thought that means so much more to me, that you can basically get whatever you want from me after that.
And then if you journal, do you use paper or do you use a computer?
Paper. I have a little diary about this big, bought it right out the 99-cent store. And sometimes I like the old-fashioned paper to pen, like, get my thoughts out. Let me get my calligraphy and my handwriting one day, like, I don't know if something was to ever happen, or later on in the future, I could look back at these diaries and see, paper that I wrote on.
And then what's the most boring thing ever?
Most important thing to what?
No, the most boring thing ever.
Most boring thing ever. Watching paint dry, I guess. But then again, that's not, see, I'm really an optimistic person. Sometimes people want to hurt me, and they be like, oh, because you're so happy all the time. Like, yeah, because one, you don't want to see me when I get angry. I'm like the female Hulk. So, and once I get to that point, I don't see nothing but green. Everything got to go. So leave me in my happy state. And second of all, whatever you give me, I'm going to look at it as a glass half full because of where I came from. My childhood and things like that I've gone through, that I'm sure a lot of people have their own story. It's just like, but when you come out of that and you are resilient and you survive and you thrive, like, I don't want to think about those hard times or what's boring to me or something like that. I can imagine somebody being locked up. My father was incarcerated, basically all my life. He just recently got out, and we're trying to mend our relationship as of recently. And he might like watching paint dry in his house. That might be boring to somebody else, but to somebody else who had their freedom taken away, that might be something that's like, I'm happy with that. I might be very well okay with watching paint drying in my new mansion. You understand what I'm saying? Because I'll be okay with that, you know. So I don't really look at things as boring. I feel like life is a gift. If I didn't have to go to sleep, I would be using every second and every hour of the day to connect and, you know, do whatever I can to get ahead and overachieve. I'm an overachiever. I'll put that on my shirt. I don't have a problem saying that.
So what is success to you?
Making sure that my family is good, making sure there's a roof over my head, making sure clothes in my bag, food, you know, on the table, and the people that I care about are not without. That's success.
All right, then. Well, thanks for talking to you again.
Thank you so much for having me, yo. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, I'll jump on your show, whatever.
Cool, definitely. I'm going to have Shelly reach out to you so we could set up, you know, a time that's convenient for you so you can come on. I'm going to have my co-host going to be there. She's probably going to be putting you through a lightning round too, because we want to make sure we know what PoPolitickin is talking about.
So do I need to bring my co-host too?
You might have to. Fuck it.
Yeah, you already know.
I'm cursing. Excuse my French.
Yeah. What's your social media again?
So follow me at The Real Anna Baby with one N, The Real ANA Baby. And follow me, We Can Change the World. Definitely.